Welcome back
Welcome back.
to
Sauna.
So.
Ta-da!
All right. So
In the studio.
totally
In the studio. We're always in the studio.
but not for long. We'll get a chance to
go back to
escaping in these streets, doing other things. But okay, we digress of being silly. All right. So today's episode is imagine a world where wellness rule the world.
Say that 5 times fast.
Imagine a world.
No,
where
I'm just kidding.
She called me slipping. I'm like, what? Challenge.
Wellness rules the world?
Yes. Okay.
That's our topic for today.
Yes.
If we were to have the perfect world where wellness was incorporated in everything.
So we're going to play like we are utopian wellness gods. So you can describe and build your own world. It's nothing before what you decree. So what would be part of your wellness world?
That's a great question. Okay, so the animals would not be eating us. Like the predatory animals would not be eating us, so we wouldn't have to worry about that. Like they could still be in existence, but we're all getting along nicely.
Okay.
And whatever way we're eating in this world, it isn't having to kill anything. But
so no killing whatsoever.
It tastes like it will still taste like if I want like a hamburger.
Okay.
It will still taste like a hamburger, but I didn't have to kill the cow to get it. Thank you, cows. But
okay, so no killing.
So I can have a steak. Like it's somehow it's like a replicator. So it's like Star Trek. We have these replicators that just you'd be like, I want a steak, potatoes.
So we got replicators.
This was a replicator. Yes, a replicator. And the replicated food, it has all the right nutrients and whatever specific to everybody's specific bodies. So like if you're low on magnesium and I'm low on potassium, and we both are like, I want steak today, and the replicator gives us steak, mine will have more potassium in it and yours would have magnesium in it. But it would taste like steak.
Okay.
So whatever the replicator, it I get it. Replicator would scan you.
I'm following what you
and it would be like, okay, today Donna needs more potassium and a bit of iron, and so in her steak, we're gonna make sure it has the potassium and the iron. And the caloric. The caloric.
You gotta be very granular on this to make sure it's
no mistakes. We're not. For the caloric value, it would be like, okay, so she on her schedule today, she doesn't have much movement because she's got a whole bunch of meetings, and so the caloric value, we're gonna make it taste exactly, and it'd be like she's eating a full size, but for somehow they do it and it replicates it, and the caloric value is reduced because my planned movement is going to be lower.
Can I ask some questions about that, or you got more part of this?
I mean, you can ask a question.
Okay. So I have 2 questions.
Okay.
One is, I'm assuming, and maybe I'm wrong to assume this, everyone will have access to this.
Yes. No, this is like how we live.
So no matter if you housed or unhoused, you got
there is no unhoused. Everybody got a house.
You didn't talk about housing.
I haven't even gotten there yet.
So,
we were only on food.
So everyone is housed.
Everyone is housed.
Okay, and everyone has a replicator that gives them the full nutritional value every single day right?
They get to say what they want to eat, and it just.
But it still give them
yes.
their
yes.
volume of nutritional, no matter
yes.
what. So then,
and then if my day changed, like it's like, oh, I actually did wind up going to do a workout or whatever, I just go back to my replicator, and it's like, oh, okay, well, she eats some more food now.
Okay, so then I have two questions off of that. One is, what do you do with? What if people just want more? What if it, let's say, hey,
that's why I said the caloric value.
You got my question. It got what I need for today, but I kind of just want a little.
You just want a little snack.
That steak.
You want a little snack.
That steak. Can I get a little half another?
It would give you. It would
even
give
though
you another.
It exceeds
it's almost like being in a simulation. It doesn't even matter. Like you could have another one.
Okay.
So you can have another steak.
Okay.
But for some reason, the caloric value is.
So it's zeroed out caloric value.
It's zeroed out.
Anything. So you can consume as much as you want.
But see, so now you're broaching on something completely different, because if somebody was like going to be like gluttonous, I just want to eat. There's something else wrong.
So in your work, okay, all right.
There's something that means there's something else wrong.
Okay.
Like you're eating because you're sad, or you're eating because
so then that's another something else to address.
Okay.
All right. I ain't gonna harp any longer on the food.
Yeah.
Now let's. Is there anything more outside of people? Everyone has a home.
Yes, there's tons more.
All right. So you got a few more minutes. All right. So what
else? You're gonna cut me out. Okay. So yes, everybody has a home. Nice size home. You can decorate it how you want. Like you do whatever.
Nice size home.
A nice size home. Yes, everybody has a nice size home.
Okay.
Yes, a nice size home. We're not doing like mini mansions or mega mansions or anything, but it's like, everybody has a nice size home. Every child has their own room. If they want their own room, they can have their own room. Nobody has to share a room.
Okay.
For those people. So it's like you really actually have your own space, but it's also like still kind of communal.
Okay.
So that, you have your neighbors and people, are nice and all that. From a car standpoint, there's still cars, but they run off of the free electricity that is harnessed from the environment.
Define that a little bit.
So I'm thinking like we're actually going to do not Tesla the car, but Nikola Tesla. Like we're going to have like these, energy harnessers.
Now, is it what nature is generating, or is it what man is generating?
No, nature
generates. Because you know how they got now those kinetic floors, and things like that.
Yes, it's all that. No, it's all. This is all. We don't need. We're not digging for oil. We're not.
So we're not using. It's not relying on manpower in any capacity, even your physical body.
No, it's free energy. There's free energy in the world, so there's just free energy.
Well, they also say, there's some places where as you're walking, capturing the kinetic energy that in turn is powering certain part of the grid.
We could have that. That'd be fine.
Is that part of it? Whereas relying on human beings,
it's not reliant on the human.
So we literally taking like storms and rains and the wind and all, like what nature is doing.
What nature is doing, the movement of the planet
to power. Wow.
Generates enough power for everybody.
All right.
Yes.
Anything else in your perfect wellness world?
I think that there definitely will be, free mental services for people.
Okay.
Like if you need some mental services, we'll have that. We'll have free workout. Like why do we have to pay for workout classes? You just go to a workout class. You want to go to a workout class. Like really, the crux of my world is that technology has moved so far advanced that it leaves so much free time for humans to just create and be, and it's like a renaissance. So we make art, we make music, we explore the emotional depths of our souls, blah 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 blah.
I can see some people though with that much level of free time, their mind goes into dark places.
No, because we're also still doing education. So like you don't have time. Like you have time.
Why you saying we
You
ain't really
have
quite working
time.
and we got time to
I didn't say
ponder
no. I didn't
things,
say work.
right?
Well, yeah, but then
And
that's
ponder
what
things.
you bring back the philosophical schools. So you have like the the Platos and the Socrates and the Pythagoras, and so you don't have the time to just be like devil's hands, idle hands, or the devil's player. It's not that. It's you're always like as you're growing up in this type of environment, is you're always thinking about how to make things better. What's still missing?
So
it's just
even
like
the average human being is socialized,
yes,
and has a different desire and taste for how to move about in the world due to this socialization of your wellness universe.
Yes, because it's like
so they just behave. They behave different. So in your world, a lot of the patterns of some aspects of human behavior, like the over gluttonous, or sometimes some people just their mind goes into thinking about dark stuff and want to do dark things. So that's just not capable in the human existence. Like they just can't.
No, I'm not saying that.
Or is it there?
It's there, but because of the mental support system, because of like the nutrition levels are always being like kind of read. So like, for instance, in Finland, they did a study where they were like, they were taking people that were showing signs of depression and whatnot. And they were like, oh, why are these people depressed? It's the happiest country on earth, blah, 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 blah. So they did the study and they were seeing that those people had lower body temperatures. So then they made them sauna more. They were like, they literally prescribed go sauna. Oh. And so then over time, they kept track of those people. And the ones that were on meds, they like felt like they didn't need to take their meds as much when they were sauning. And so then they were checking like their actual body temperatures, and their body temperatures had risen back to what they consider normal for over there. And so then they were like, oh, your body temperature has come back up, and you're saying that you don't feel depressed. And so now we're going to reduce your medication and see how that works. But you have to keep sauning. And so over time, it's like the now working theory is that sauning may help with overall mental health, and mental health may be tied to core temperature. And if you have a lower core temperature, you may you have depressive states. And if you have a normal or higher core temperature, you won't experience that depression, even going through the same types of issues or things in your life. You may not go into those dark places. So that's why I'm saying it's like you're getting these body scans, you're getting your scans, and it's like, oh, you have this nutritional deficiency, so we are going to make sure that what we replicate gives you what you need. So it's like was it Maslow's hierarchy of needs? But all the way down to, is your body functioning the way it should be functioning? If your body is functioning the way it should be functioning, then the chance that you would be off gets reduced. Now, when those things do happen, the healthcare system that would be on my planet would help mitigate, further issue.
Now, last question.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna last. I'm just doing slight devil advocate. You're doing very well in terms of answer, because I'm like, man, I can't really argue. That do sound kind of cool. But okay. So I get overall being socialized up through your system to then from there kind of guide certain behavior patterns, or people being more accepting for the scans. I'm assuming from birth people are getting scans so they understand this is what humans do. We get our body scanned and all of that. We know from
It's like going to the cash register to pay.
Yeah.
Instead of going to the cash register to pay, it's like,
yeah.
Okay, here's your food.
Yeah, you just kind of know because we constantly interact in that sense. The time we just exist. That's what humans. You know. I get all that. The body scans. I get the food situation. What do you do? And even the deficiencies, because you're saying, okay, if you're starting to be off, I guess it's two layers to this thing. What do you do when your body has adjusted and changed and it wasn't caught initially with a scan, right? And
so you say you skip
like
a meal,
like a sudden, like something sudden kind of trigger, and then now whether it's something like that or something like you had a bad accident, right? You hit your head, and now you're off, and you are a different person. So how does your world capture or address when people go through any type of change, whether it's even not on purpose, but maybe they did something that altered their thing, like skipping or whatever, or they had a certain traumatic incident, or a moment happen to them in their life, even psychologically, right? So how does your system address
somebody fell off of something and now they broke their leg and they have to get their leg reset and all of that. Even if okay, now I'm gonna get super controversial. So that, like, say they're paralyzed and they're like, I want to be able to walk again. In the world that I am creating, there is methods that you can use to regain your mobility.
This is very futuristic.
Yes, I'm very
sci-fi.
Yes,
very okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yes, my world is very like technology forward, but in a sense of how it helps humanity and the overall earth. Like not in the sense of like robots are killing us.
Gotcha. Which is fine.
But it's like, how do we use technology in order to embetter our existence?
And very last question you get from me, because I'm just kind of curious now. I'm just picking your brain. Exactly. Just use our current world as a baseline, as a jump for this level of a technological, like the advance in technology. When do you think human beings? I say that we're going to build a world this way. We're ever going to get that with our current structure. But let's say, when do you think human beings going to grow and evolve, technologically, to be able to meet what you envision? Like just the technology will be available, whether human beings create a world.
So the thing, okay.
So you like, is it going to be technically 50 years from now?
No,
100 years from now?
No. Okay. It's not going to be. That's not what's stopping my vision.
I get that. I'm not going on to what's stopping.
I know. I'm saying, but what to say when it could happen?
Yeah. We're like,
no. I'm answering what I'm saying.
All right, shut up.
If it's not a question of when it can happen, it's like what elements need to be put in place to allow it to happen. And so, like in our current climate, it is not going to happen.
No, I just
like
I get that, and I want to
like no, we would have to like if America, if we just say America, like for America to be able to even do it, to even move towards that.
No, but you're looking at about like at least this is what I'm hearing. I could be absolutely wrong. More about like when people will be ready or think about moving in this wellness space. I'm talking about this. I ain't talking about the people. I ain't talking about. I don't care about none about the people. Just take your body scan to get your
There's body scans now. That's what I'm saying. Some of this stuff exists now, but because of
I don't want to say why it isn't. I'm just saying.
No,
I didn't know a body scan to
now
that level.
The food replicator may not exist unless maybe over like in Asia they might have something on its way towards that.
But okay, let's go. Let's just follow me with this, right? Because we get into the weeds of. I don't want to get to like nihilistic about like people because our current world is like we're not doing great as humans right now. And so I want to try to avoid walking to that space because it's just a lot we can just like it'll depress us. But what I'm getting at is that, like, you say your body's scan, and you saying it's able to do now. Is that technology that you know that's available? Because I didn't know that that was available.
Well, I don't know if it'll do it at the
to the level that you're
to the level
describing.
I'm describing, maybe not.
So
But
how
the
many years do you think?
capability to do a body scan, it can
Okay.
tell you how much your bone density, your muscle
Okay.
mass, your fat, you know, what your biological age is. It can tell. I mean, they've got scans for a whole bunch of
So
stuff.
we might be like a few years away from like being able to give that type of body scan
Yeah.
and all of that. But the replicator, how far away you think technology wise we're away from, like,
to the level that I was talking about,
Yes,
the food
yes,
replication?
yes.
I don't know.
Just guess.
Maybe like 5 years.
You think 5 years? I think that's
But
okay.
part of the issue is still
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, could we make a food replicator in 5 years? Yeah, for sure, we totally could. With everything that we have
we
now,
into like the Beyond Meat and some
yes,
other stuff
that's why I'm like, yeah,
folks been
like
doing in the lab.
there's so much already.
I don't know if it's
done.
Beyond Meat. Let me clarify.
Yeah.
I don't want no trademark or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Beyond Meat that made it, but I know that they have made replicated like lab meat.
Yes. That's not real, but yeah.
They didn't come from.
And that's why I'm like, so that's what I'm saying. Everything that I've actually said is completely feasible.
Okay.
It is completely feasible within the next 5 to 10 years. It's feasible. I have not said anything. I didn't say nothing about going to Mars. I didn't say nothing about going to deep space. I didn't say anything about that. I just said, on Earth,
that's true.
Can we do this?
So
yes.
So the caption of the kinetic and also the energy from nature.
Tesla can not the cars, but Nikola.
So you want to make sure. Okay.
He literally had the plan to do it.
Okay.
And he started to build it.
Okay.
And people have harnessed water out of the air and got cars to go.
That's true.
Everything I've said is actually possible.
This is desalination, you know what I'm saying?
It is, everything is possible. It's just,
so okay.
There's things that don't want that kind of stuff, and so, or people that don't want that to happen because they either want something else or they're making a lot of money other ways, and so it prevents that kind of existence. There's plenty of space on this globe for everybody to have a house. Me saying everybody could have a house isn't unfeasible. Me saying everybody should have food is not unfeasible. There's plenty of, we have legit, like, the ability to move around and ship things, and, you know, transportation is at the easiest you can do it. Like, there is no reason we shouldn't already have these things.
Is it okay? So I feel you on that.
See?
You see, like the way you breaking it, I like. Okay, yeah, I do know. Yeah, we could. Yeah.
It's a feasible world plan. Feasible. Everybody can be healthy and happy. We have doctors, and if we actually, you know, paid our teachers well, like, I mean,
I can't even
have better mental health access for people, like.
But you know, it's not. They are also fragmented.
Yes.
And not as a full ecosystem and a way of life.
And people don't look at it as the whole human. They look at things as like, oh, it's just this, or it's just that, or it's just that.
Okay. And
my way is like, you're looking at the whole human and you're saying, okay, what does this human need?
Wow.
This specific human right here, what does that person need? And then you're saying, okay, let's solve for those needs. And then that human will not feel like they're, you know, lacking. And when you're not feeling under pressure just because of lack, then you're able to say, okay, what is it that I want to do? And then when it's like, well, what do I want to do? And if you've been, you know, taught and educated and given a sense of community and giving back and that kind of thought pattern, as long as you understand that, then most people that have kind of been raised that way will go out and be like, oh, okay, well,
Okay.
how do I help? What can I make, what can I do to make stuff better?
So you need a universal cultural revolution,
golden rule, yeah.
And then, okay.
Then maybe we could all have cool stuff.
Well, that's how you consider cool. I guess the
I mean,
other people
like,
who
I really
don't
want
think this
that.
way don't see it.
There is a car they got over in Asia that I saw.
That is
fly. I'm like, man,
that car is
fly. Can a girl get one?
That car is fly.
Because it's, can I get that?
Yeah, because I think what I
liked
about it,
all the bells and whistles, all the bells and whistles.
It was stylish. It had a lot of features to make things convenient in ways that
I'm about convenience. I'm about convenience.
Convenient.
Convenience.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, it was a fascinating.
I'm like, so
if
you look at that, it's like they got that car, and I don't even know what the name of the car is. It was on Instagram. I just saw it and I was like, I want this car. It's never gonna be over here. And I'm like,
it sounds like to me though, like the mindset has to be empathetic, compassionate, futuristic, you know what I'm saying, focus, kind of, right? Mindset.
I mean, it would be so nice.
Order to pull that off, right? Yeah. It's like But
I mean, people could run around dressed like Fifth Element.
That's a lot of change. That's a lot of change. Though.
I know,
which is why change can be scary.
Which is why
especially if it's a lot coming all at once.
Yeah, I don't. So how long will it be? 100, 200 more years, maybe 300 more years. When will we have the technology? 5 years.
Okay.
So sad.
Does that cover that? Does that cover your?
I think so.
I think
now I'm like, can I move to that one?
I like many aspects of that word, and I don't know why. I don't know because you said the Star Trek or whatever. It's like I just got that those visuals in my head.
You just walk up and the drink comes out.
And I'm a Trekkie, so
And then what if even like you want to party, you're partying, you're like you having a couple drinks. And then it's like, oh, I gotta go to work in the morning. So then you just go to your little replicator, and it gives you like a little concoction to help flush the alcohol.
Well, they already got that on the market.
I know, but it's like
probiotic that you take pre-drinking.
Oh, see,
there's a supplement.
Like what?
I saw it on Cuomo podcast and whatever, and it's like it's actually I can't even remember the name, and I ain't getting paid for it, so I ain't going. Let's be real. I
know we do a lot of call outs.
But I've been slightly curious to give it a try because it's supposed to be like you take it before you start drinking for a small period of time.
You need to drink pickle juice,
and then it's supposed to kill the poisonous bacteria, like whatever the effect, whatever. So pickle juice is
pickle juice.
Take a shot of pickle juice.
Take a shot of pickle.
They call them pickle. They call sandwiches for flavor. That's a call out for Hannibal Buress, Chicago's finest. You know what I'm saying?
Keep that jar of pickle juice.
That is not my joke.
Flicking it up. That was a good one though.
I love his joke.
Hannibal was funny.
Flicking on my sandwiches for flavor. I was like, who thinks of flicking pickle juice with their
But you saw it though when you said it. You saw it. Like I was like, I totally understand that. Like I get it.
He's brilliant. More people should know.
He is.
Hannibal Buress.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot what we were talking about.
No, we were just talking about. I think we kind of like getting to a point of a good wrap up. I kind of.
Wait, but you haven't even talked.
Oh, well, you didn't. I mean, you haven't asked me what my
Okay. So, sir.
Yes.
If you were to have a world of wellness, what would it look like?
What it would look like?
How would it be?
That's such a weird place.
I was trying to do Yzma. Little Eartha Kitt there.
I think that it will be a world that really fuses and integrates um, ancient, medical or spiritual practices with modern medicine, right?
Okay.
That is truly holistic, and that it also will be a world where we really introduce, like it's like purposeful that we understand and learn. Um, like doctors would have to do like residencies across the globe. They would have to do things where they're using like, oh, they're going to like the Tibetan areas, things of that nature, and work with sound bowls and see what that, and then actually our research will be in alignment to kind of test these things as well, to try to see broader episodes. It's a very futuristic, slightly futuristic approach, because that's not kind of like how we normally do. Even though over the last maybe 15 to 20 years, unless it seemed like to me
It's starting to
that
kind of,
there's that it's
a
starting to,
little
yeah,
bit, little bit.
yeah. And even if it's not like the full overall health system does it, then we having specialty kind of like boutique style commercial companies, even
Yeah.
like what we're doing, right? It's a hybrid of bringing some of those things together, and people are open and more explore. But I'm like, it is like clear on that, because I think some things are, because people are different parts of the world, well, native to different parts of the world, that some of these treatments might be really perfect for them based off of where they come from. In addition to that, I do think that it's basically like bringing globalization a little bit to medicine, um, in that wellness space, to introduce to some areas, some people that like never thought about this, um, but find it very useful. And it's I just not a believer in Xing out some of our ancient medicines, or home remedies that we will call it.
Because they're just now finding out that it worked.
Yeah, and I'm also not down for saying, okay, modern medicine, they just out here, big pharma, everybody out here trying to milk you for your money or poison you with this other stuff. And it's just like, no, penicillin is just a better product than any other stuff that you do when you got an infection. Give me that. Come on, balls. I need this infection knocked out, right?
Yeah.
Where it would take you 3 to 7 days compared to taking you months trying to hopefully, and then hopefully your spirit is strong, son, to overdo it. Like that.
No, we'll just amputate your arm. We'll just cut that off.
Yeah, hold on.
We'll just cut that off.
I got cut with a piece of metal, and now I got to lose all my jadid.
It's gone. It's gone.
See,
it's gone.
It's stuff like that I'm like, okay, modern medicine is a miracle.
Use that rusty saw too.
Yeah, and they put the stick in your mouth and be like, all right, now, you want some whiskey first, son? I'm like, what a shot of whiskey? It's going to take X amount of minutes
the doctor
for it to even hit.
Doctor take a shot, more shot.
And then they pour it over the shit, like that's not disinfectant. I don't want any of that. Okay? I don't want to.
And then they wrap you with a bandage that they got off.
Right? But I also do know that, like, hey, as you give someone to come in with like a severe cold or a sinus infection, that in addition to you giving them prescription for penicillin or antihistamine or things of that nature, you talk to them about how we're basically like taking your baby a hot toddy, or hey, you know what, if you're having difficulty breathing, boil a pot of water, put a towel on your face and breathe it in. Put some eucalyptus oil and stuff like that into that, and let those vapors come in and just kind of loosen up.
Got the vapors.
Or say, hey, if not that type of going that far, it's like, hey, come into a facility and get a salt treatment for that as well. Like we just had a client that did that, right? She had she had a sinus infection, pretty bad.
Came in 3 days in a row.
And was coming every single day. And her husband was a big opponent because he came in first. And really, I was like, that to me is the ideal system, right? To treat most things with the body, right? Understanding like having onions and garlic and stuff like that regularly in your diet, right? And these things help your immune system. It's just like it's all these bits and pieces that I would like, yeah. So I think I made my point because I can ramble on and on and on. So if my ideal world has that, um, I'm trying to think of some things because you kind of touched on a few of them. I was like,
well, you could say what you agree with. So,
but I do like, um, I do like the grid being connected actually to like having a kinetic grid where literally, sidewalks are capturing.
So all the major cities
and
have
cars moving, and the pressure of it hitting on the ground. That's what I'm saying. It's generating power that kids' toys and things of that nature, right? It's like let people know that like your movement, right? You have some skin in the game because your movement has helped sustaining your actual world. And I think having an environment where we also like we have to interact with our external world, right? Get us out of just our head and what we may like desire, but it's like, okay, we got to be mindful of, nature. We got to be mindful of even the man-made structures, right? And treat it well because it is also helping keeping us alive and sustaining us. And so let's, in my world is that it's not as much of use and discard, right? It's use, hold on for a while, enhance if can be, then discard instead of use and discard, the turnkey kind of method. And that's a big disruption if you have to take the current world and do it. But I'm dealing with a clean slate. So my world has that. And then I think it's a world and environment that do practices where wellness, mindfulness, and empathy is integrated into the society. Much like how certain things, like certain areas, like you go to Miami, right? Most people are gonna dress and move a certain way because it's a hot environment, it's climate, and there's some aspects of cultural expression in that way. And so I think some things is just like movement, being empathetic, helping out, saying others, no matter who they are or whatever. And then we have to engage with each other in those wellness activities. It's not a ton of stuff in silos, right? Where you can wall yourself off all the time from every other human being that existed.
So you would
that you have to there have to be more public things.
Would you have any like silent monasteries though? Like it's like I just want peace and quiet and to be left alone.
I can see that because I think solitude is can be a great wellness tool, a great wellness like activity. I think too much solitude,
that's not
it. Right? Can be damaging, much like with anything.
This is what we saw. Honestly, that's what we saw after COVID.
Yeah, you can help.
We're seeing the effects of what solitude did.
Yeah, where it's just like
to the human population.
It's like, we all came out COVID weird. It was like,
oh my gosh!
You remember that whole trend, the COVID babies? It was like these babies are backflipping and breakdancing it too.
Wait, and then they're also looking like at people like,
Yeah, they like muffin folks, like get away from me.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know you. What are you?
It's like these COVID babies are.
They were different,
and
now they're children.
I do think that way. I just think it's one of the things. There's an environment where culturally, government wise, you know what I'm saying, these things are just they are encouraged. They are presented. Everybody don't feel weird about it, right? Because it's just very common to do. It's just very common to do, and we understanding as long as we consider it of each other. So that would be my world. I mean, I think yours is a little bit more comprehensive.
But I think even our
worlds could kind of
sandwich
them together.
It'd be
I think that would
pretty
be
cool.
Like, pretty.
Because I didn't go into like the actual true healthcare outside of the mental health, like the true healthcare, like how the doctors would be and all. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all out there make that happen. How about that?
And look, and if you guys like have some ideas, please put in some comments or whatever. You know, I'm totally curious about your version of what the world, if you was the wellness god, if you can create, what would it be?
A wellness world.
Yeah. All right. That's it for us.
I think so. I think that was a good episode.
Totally. It was fun. It was fun. Another one down for Salt.
Sauna.
So
Bye.
bye.